What's up, banana bunch? Bunch? Bunch?
Welcome to the Junglejims podcast. What's up, Banana Bunch? You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the Junglejims podcast. I'm your host, Mark. Welcome to the show. Where are we going this week? We got a lot going on this week. I'm doing my very first exit interview on the show because I thought it'd be funny. And then, like so many things I think are funny, it turned out actually oddly insightful and kind of cute. So I thought I would share that with you with one of my favorite former coworkers who moved. And that was a lot of fun. I got a comment. Before I dive into that, we got that coming up. We're sitting down with Matt Rolnick from Real American Beer because they were just here with Braun Strowman from the WWE. And great news, if you come into the beer department and you want a signed case, they've still got a couple of those available. I don't think too many left, but definitely worth your time checking out if you're a big wrestling fan. Through that, I got to go to my first ever WWE Raw, which was unique. I gotta say, I've never really enjoyed wrestling, not in like a I don't like this kind of way, but just in a I didn't grow up with it. Most of it came, went in waves. But I never had anybody to guide me through it. So it was an interesting little thing going to this for the first time because it felt like they were selling it to me. Because when I finally got in there, I saw one of my least favorite people on the internet, Logan Paul, saying awful things about Cincinnati and walking into a crowd booing my least favorite person on the internet. So I was like, you know what? Maybe this wrestling thing is for me. It's really not. There's, I love all of you who love it, but I always joke, it's a little too much bad acting for me. Same reason I don't like bad movies. Like, I want to make good things, so I want to be talented, and I feel like other people should want that too. But hey, you know what? Whatever. I'm glad you all loved it. It was fun. I got a comment recently. Someone was like, I'll paraphrase before I dive into the rest, but they were like, Mark, I kind of wish you did more of a salesy show and talked more about the products. Well, this is episode 181. Watch any of the early episodes first. Now, I'm not trying to be mean about that. But, it's always hard managing the feedback because our mandate here really was just to make a fun, cool show, which is why I try to cover cultural events and have interesting touring guests come in here and that kind of thing. And, realistically, due to the nature of the ever-shortening attention spans by the American public, I don't think a lot of people want to sit here and listen to me talk for 30 minutes about it. So, of course, if you do love that kind of stuff, you should follow us on TikTok. You should follow us on Instagram, YouTube Shorts. We put all those out there, too, because we do a ton of product coverage, but so much of it is short frame. However, before I dive into this week, I wanted to show 2 new products for this commenter, and I hope all of that came across with love and humor and not anything else, because that is how I mean pretty much everything. But Calbee just brought us in this whole new line called Asian Style Chips. Now, I thought we had 4 in, and maybe you all bought them all while I was off this weekend, but I'm really excited about these 2. So the first one here, this is a Korean style spicy barbecue. It rules. I'm not, you can probably hear a little of that crunch. These have a surprisingly tough crunch. They look like a Grippos, okay, Cincinnati people. Kind of got that similar color. And what I would say is similar there, too, is that it's got a nice spice to it. It's not so hot that anyone going, you'll still like it. But it's a slightly sweet, smoky barbecue flavor that you would associate with Korean barbecue. That's a winner. But honestly, the one that I legitimately, and like Lucky's off camera right now, I don't think we'll be able to stop eating these. This is the yellow curry Thai style. If you've ever had a Thai curry, you're in for a treat. This is my favorite part of the job, is waving to people as they come by the studio. This is one of the most unique tasting chips ever. If you've had a good yellow curry, you know what I'm talking about. There's like hints of like, I'll say coconut because I know coconut milk goes down in here, but you get that strong, I'm sorry I don't have words for it, but it's this strong yellow curry flavor. It's so delicious and so unique. You got to come try these for sure. So there's my salesy product thing for this week. I don't want to keep eating into the microphone. I'll save that for a second, put it off the table. This Thursday, I wanted to bring something fun up. And as I'm talking about this, you'll see some clips of the place that we're supporting. If you don't know this, in the front of the Fairfield store, we have a setup for the Findlay Kitchen. And the Findlay Kitchen is a really cool incubator program for all kinds of food entrepreneurs in the Cincinnati area. So this Thursday, we are partnering with them because they're doing a Small Bites. I forget the official title, but it's a fundraiser. It's going to be from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. with the real show only going from like 6:30 to like 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's my secret to you. The rest of it's just fun hangout networking time. But I wanted to read you some of the press release here because I love what Findlay Kitchen's doing. If you've tried so many of these like local products, you've seen like Pactlee's been on the show before, Cena Rules, Ye Mama, incredible dumplings, all kinds of cool stuff. And we carry it here at Jungle Gyms. And then again, this Thursday, we're doing a fundraiser because there's just some stuff out there. So let me read you a couple things that's going on. We're going to be raffling baskets off. For example, Chef Kimberly Wilbon is offering a multi-course around-the-world meal inspired by global cuisine for you and up to 3 friends. That's a raffle basket item. And all of these raffle tickets are going $10 or 6 tickets for $50. We're doing a Best of Findlay Kitchen basket, which has all kinds of stuff. Private tea tasting for 4 at Wendigo Tea. A $200 gift card and merch from Tablespoon Cooking Company. We're doing a Jungle Gyms raffle, too, which will come with all kinds of stuff. So you're going to get a $100 Jungle Gyms gift card, plus some goodies from some of the kitchen members who are featured here, like the aforementioned Ye Mama, Fire Heaven. Fire Heaven has this really cool hot sauce called Chili Fury, and I know the locals are going to love it. It hits that kind of Cincinnati chili, maybe Jamaican jerk vibe. That's really good. So is this garlic sizzle, but that's the one I feel like you guys will all go crazy for. Queen Pequeños, they were here the other day doing some samples. I got to try those. Those were delicious. Davy Boy's Bourbon Pecan, Sunshine Caramel, Julie G's Granola. So much going on. Small Bites, Big Impact there. I just had to scroll long enough in the press release to see the title in there. But this is going on Thursday, April 10th, 2025. It's a Findlay Kitchen fundraiser. I'm emceeing it, and we're just getting out there. Look, they do so much, and just in my short time working on some of this material, finding out what they do for the city is really, really impressive to me. I mean, it's not, you hear Incubator Kitchen, you're probably thinking like, oh, it's just a place for people who have outgrown their house kitchen. That's where they go to make their product. You're not wrong, but there's so much more to it. I mean, these people are, I keep joking with Kelly and everybody there that I'm like, oh, so I finally get to make some of my products, because you can go from simply just having an idea for something to meeting with them, and they will help shepherd you through this process pretty much from top to bottom to coming up with like, well, is this idea feasible? How do we scale this idea? Oh, marketing, branding, we know how to do that. Oh, they have setups at Findlay Market so that you can actually try and like sell your products there, as well as other networking opportunities. Obviously, all of the skills and things that come from having access to a commercial kitchen to do this stuff, you know, helping you work through things like food code and, you know, how to make sure that you have safe products for the public. They do so much. It kind of blew my mind. And then even after that, they're still supporting a lot of these businesses afterwards. I mean, look at this. This is a great example of that. Now we have a dedicated section of the store right by the main registers here at Fairfield where you can shop a lot of the products out of the Findlay Kitchen. They do samples and demos there on the weekends for these products. I mean, it's not even just food stuff. Like we had was it Myro or Mayro and Company? I'm so sorry, guys. You've been very nice, and you always remember Morrison's name. But you know, they've even got pet treats and stuff that are getting made out of there. So anyway, it's a cool thing. We're trying to get them some money so that they can get some new gear. It's not the sexy, I'm taking this from their script. It's not the sexiest stuff. It's like some food processors. It's silly things like, hey, we need more equipment cages. We need casters, like wheels for rolling tables and things like that. So if you want to support the city and you want to support creative entrepreneurs, this is a really great event. You should definitely think about checking it out. All right, with that said, let's move on to the show. Like I said, we've got, let's just dive right into this. I'm going right into it. I am very excited about this exit interview. Again, like I told you earlier, I thought it was oddly cute, very informative, and sweet. And just know that I went in as Dr. Mark trying to thinking, I'm like, this is going to be funny and it's going to be short. And then no, it was like 15, 20 minutes and there's a lot of heart in there. It's really sweet. We really miss having Ray. We miss all of our former employees that leave. Of course, I wish them the best, but I think you'll have fun with this little exit interview. Let's learn a little bit about, let's dive into kind of the behind the scenes of the jungle, you know? All right, folks, this is my first exit interview. Well, actually, this is not my first exit interview. I did one with, what was his name that ran produce? Dave Brossert 100 years ago. It wasn't 100. It was one of my first interviews. So I'm now doing the company exit interview. So state your name for the record, sir.
Raymond Jones.
Okay, Raymond Jones. Okay, was that name you chose or given to you?
Given to me.
Okay, would you like to talk with the people? Are you happy with the name?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sending this directly to your parents.
Okay. They'll be pleased.
They will be pleased. Raymond Jones, how long have you worked for Jungle Gyms?
7 years.
7 years. Okay. And what department did you start in?
Cashier.
Cashier?
Yes.
Did you work in any other departments besides that?
I've been a head cashier for about 3 years, and I worked in seafood for a year and a half.
Okay. Well, tell me about your time in seafood, Ray.
Seafood was my favorite experience I've had working at the store. I got to learn how to gut, cut, and clean fish.
Yeah.
One of my favorite experiences back in, I believe it was November of 2019, we took an alligator back to Eastgate, and for 2.5 hours, we deboned it. We literally, we cut all the meat off, got the skin off, cut the head off, and we sold that meat for, God, I think about 2.5 weeks after we got everything done, and we sold the skin and the head.
Oh, wow. For real?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of amazing. I love this place for that reason. What made you want to get out of seafood? Was it just the head cashier position?
Unfortunately, some stuff with me. I have really bad legs, and their floor is a lot more chalky than ours is, and so I'd be going like this a lot, and hence my nickname, the Penguin. What up, everybody?
Whoa, hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm taking another note. The Penguin?
Yeah.
When did you become the Oswald Cobblepot of Jungle Gyms?
Right after I came back from my surgery back in 2021.
Really?
I had a I still have a really bad hobble, and so I gave myself the nickname, the Penguin, and it just stuck.
That is awesome. Okay, you gave yourself the nickname. I was like, everybody here is funny and nice.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I was just like, and that one didn't feel mean, but I was like, did you get that? Okay.
No, that was a me thing.
That is amazing. Okay, but that makes sense for the switch too. Because I always wonder because, now I'm pretending not to be doctor of foodology here. I know I was really thinking, I always kind of wondered that because I know you've mentioned in passing just in our personal lives that you've always enjoyed your time out in seafood.
Yes. I was there when Ross Carroll was still here.
Love Ross, big fan.
Ross was one of my favorite people I've worked with. Me and him really got along. That crew we had back then was one of my favorite crews I've worked with. I love Johnny. I love Jonah. He's
cool.
Gonna kill.
How much did you love these people whose names you don't remember right now?
Johnny and they're going to kill me.
Johnny and Jonah.
Yes, thank you. They're going to kill me.
I got you, buddy.
And but yeah, they taught me a lot, and now I can clean and gut and kill my own fish, and it's really cool.
Has it helped you in your personal life?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea you'd had that trick.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
my favorite thing to cleans are black sea bass and branzino. They are my favorite things to cut because it's really easy to go by the head and slowly cut out the meat. It sounds like a xylophone every time you do it.
Does it really?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
But wetter probably.
Oh yeah. My least favorite thing to do back there was were the live catfish. Those things were a pain in the neck.
You better.
You're good.
What was a pain in the neck about that? This is not going the way I thought it was going to already. I'm like, oh, I've learned so much already in this short time. This was a joke.
So in seafood, we clean and cut live fish as well.
Right, which is one of my favorite things about Jungle Gyms.
And one of the things we do is we clean and cut live catfish.
Okay.
Well, with our catfish, some of their fins are not on them, and so it's just bone spine.
Oh, wow.
So we have to conk them in the head to kind of like stabilize them. But when they're moving around, those things can really just... And one time I was cleaning one, and
is this going to get us in trouble?
No,
I meant the part about wherever the story is going.
Oh no, okay. It was funny when it happened. It didn't get me, but it was just the way it was doing. I conked it on the head. It looked up at me and then just lay flat on the floor.
Just gave up. Right?
It just gave up, and it was.
That's the same way you looked at me when I hit you in the head. I thought that was so crazy, and I was just like, "Oh, this is so familiar." He looks so peaceful right now.
It did,
and then I just started deboning you. Ray, let me remove your scale.
Okay.
Okay, so you've been here 7 years.
7 years.
Can I ask how old you are?
I will be 30 this year.
Okay, so you've worked here almost a third of your life.
Almost.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
And I should mention everybody watching or listening along, today, as of the day we're recording this, not the day of airing, but this is your last day.
This is my official last day.
So this is a literal exit interview. You've got a couple hours left. I'm like, yeah, let's see what else. Let's see. Okay, so you talked about loving working there. What is, we'll do this, and you can't be in trouble since you're no longer an employee as of the time this airs. Right? Here, say something so they see your face.
Hi.
What are some of your favorite things about being here, part of the Jungle family?
That part right there. That's my main thing and always will be. The family part.
The family part?
I'm
drawing pictures of Ray as he's talking.
When I first started working here, I was really nervous because of how big the store was. It was intimidating. I've been in retail for almost 14 years. I've worked Kroger, Meijer, Aldi, Walmart, Supercenter, anything you can think of, I've pretty much done except for one job, which I'm going to. And
Which is in the same lane.
Which is in the same lane.
Okay, cool.
And this was intimidating because at this point I really only cashiering maybe 3 years going into this. And I came in here and everybody was so inviting. And I got everybody. Do
you mean that really? Like,
yes.
you don't have to. I want.
No.
Okay. I thought you did feel that
Yeah,
way, but
yeah,
I'm just saying because I would like this to be a truly honest thing.
Yeah. There's no facetious with it.
Facetious, love it, dude.
Every
I'm abbreviating it that way going forward. Love that. Continue.
And everybody I talked to who brought me up, in particular, I'm gonna shout her out, Sydney Gardner. She is one of our people, one of our head cashiers that works here, and she was my teacher that taught me. It was a one-on-one for PLU for learning all the produce and stuff.
Which I imagine has got to be the hardest part of your
4
job
pages.
in general. Yeah,
4 pages back and forth.
And that was 7 years ago. I bet there's more pages now, right?
And she made me feel less exhausted about it. She gave me motivation to keep going with it, and she's one of the reasons why I became a head cashier.
Oh, we love Cindy. I mean, she exhausts me, but I'm glad no, I'm just kidding.
she's legit one of my favorite people, and I could shout out everybody from the customer service area.
Well, who's somebody that here? Let me put it this way: who is somebody that you think needs a little more love? Like, pick one person that you're like, this person really, or you could do 2 if you want.
If I could honestly say that, it would probably...
I want you to only be honest, because if this doesn't air, I'm just at least going to show this to everybody that works here.
I really can't pick 2.
Okay.
There are multiple people that I work with. Specifically, I want to shout out one main area of what I do, which is the beer and wine cashier department.
Okay.
Our little area does so much, and we have that one line, whereas up front has multiple. And I think that our team back there every night, whether it be big or small, always gives 100% in effort. Yeah. Everybody does, but we are always going through the ringer back there. And I don't think our beer and wine cashier area does not get enough love. Okay. I felt that way for the longest time back when other people were here, and that feels more like a family area for me. I have a group back there. Nancy, one of my openers, I'm going to miss her very much. Deborah, all of them. Those are people that really remind me of why I like being a cashier so much and why I like helping customer service. I love that so much. You told me a fun story with a customer the other day. Oh, yeah. So do you know which one I'm thinking? Okay. So back last week, I had a customer come through us on 42 by the door back in beer and wine. Mm-hmm. And he had the Spaceballs koozies, because we now have some of those little koozies back in beer and wine. Right. And we literally quoted the entire scene of them complaining about the VHS tape of Spaceballs while watching Spaceballs. That's adorable. I love that. We did the entire scene up into the end, and we made the noise of when Dark Helmet falls. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And again, it's stuff like that you really can't get anywhere else in these kind of stores, because no one sells Spaceballs merchandise. Right. Merchandising. Right. You no one full does. Yogurt on them. I get it. Yeah, yogurt only works with us, and I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I love Mel Brooks, shout out. That's actually that's a cute story. I love that, and I think it's not only a testament to you and like all the frontline employees, the first responders of the grocery world. But we really are. I know it's like silly to say, but I'm like, that actually does feel accurate. That is cute, and I like that our customers are more fun like that. I mean, look, half of my days are just customers stopping me to chat, and I'm cool with it. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes it hurts productivity a little bit, but they're really important, so it's like, I got a few minutes for you, you know. So I love that you get to have those experiences too. It's one of the rare places where customer interaction is some of my favorite stuff, because when you go like to a Kroger or a Meijer, it's very quiet. I'll just bleep those. When you go to a bleep or when you go to this place and that place. When you go to the blue store or the red store. Yeah. Wrong choice of colors, sir. I mean, well, yeah, because Meijer is blue and red. Right? Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, when you go to big box retailers in a similar lane, it's really quiet because they rely so much heavily on self-checkout. And so there's no real interaction with us except to say, here, can you take off the spider web, or can you scan this for me? Yeah, just imagine I'm playing the Bill Burr clip about self-checkout. Yeah. He's like, I didn't know I was on the clock. But yeah, no, 7 years is crazy. I'm going to miss this place a lot. And I'm also going to miss you. You have been one of the... I promise everybody I didn't make him say anything. I told him I was just going to grill him today, and then I already kind of fell off the rails. You legit are one of the coolest people we've got brought into this place. You've added so much more levity to this place, and our numbers are through the roof because of it. And I hope that's because of me, but at least... I really think it is. And on a personal side of it, you are one of my best friends that works here. Aww, you're one of the few people I can actually talk to. Yeah. You know, you're one of my buddies. And it's gonna be weird not coming into this office almost every other day. Sure, for sure. But to the entire Jungle Gyms family, I would just like to say thank you. I'm going to miss you guys. This has been one of my favorite
Wait. I've got one more question. You can't close on the closer. I really do have one question for real before you thank everybody. It's very sweet of you. I don't want to actually interrupt it. I'll let you say it for real.
Yeah.
But I did have one question because like any good exit interview, I got to ask for some pain points here.
Okay.
And be honest.
Okay.
Be honest. Truly.
Yeah.
Like,
I will.
At the end of the day, I'm probably just going to laugh if you say something mean. Do you have any pain points?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The way you said that was a little too excited. Maybe too excited, right? What are some things that you would have liked to see different in your time here?
I would like our ads to have been done differently here.
Interesting.
I work up front.
I know this is an opinion, so I'm just curious. It's okay.
In my opinion, I work up front. We deal with these ads every week.
Yeah.
And
you mean like the physical paper ad, or do you mean like sales in particular?
Just in general in that area. Okay. I am not getting on anybody about this, but
of course.
we have a sale going on this week about the pop.
Okay, yeah, for example.
And that is and I'll use that the example. Pop has always been the biggest issue because I don't know if we convey it well enough or whatnot, but I think moving forward, they should really let those sales be bigger on the ad. Because our current sale for the hot deals this week is just one line on the front page.
Hot deals.
That's what it says on the page. Hot deals on the.
Hot. I thought you said like laughter.
No,
I was like, why are we laughing at prices?
No,
I'm not laughing. I'm smiling at.
And I love the fact we're doing these deals. I think the $1.49.
No, of course I know you're a fan. It's great deal. Yeah, right.
But I wish those were bigger on the physical ad, or I wish those.
Okay, so you're saying that so that it would be an opportunity to educate the customer a little bit more about the deal itself. Yes. I know you said the thing about conveying the message. I do think we do a good job of conveying the message. I think there's a catch.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with soda in this case, and I still want to hear more, don't get me wrong, but I think soda is one of those items that excites people. Mm-hmm. And especially nowadays that like in the last 2 years, 12 packs went from $5 to $10.
It's crazy.
So it's like it's now both, we always use it as a quote luxury good, right? Because it's like something that's fun and enjoyable.
Right.
But it's like now luxury in both senses of the word.
Yeah, it's luxury and entertainment and in price.
So on one end, if I see, $149 like this, I'm like, oh man, I bought Coke Zero in my office for the first time in months for that reason, right? Yeah. But even if it's like buy 2 for, I imagine, and I'm holding this up to him for those of you just listening along, I'm holding up the number to him, right? Like, I don't think people read well. Look, as somebody who just is constantly mad at his friends on social media for never reading the caption I'm writing, I'm like, that's the best part of the post, guys. It's not the photo.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I'm incredibly handsome.
I feel like they see the sale part and don't read the rest of it.
And so then I'm guessing that you guys are occasionally dealing with this customer service brunt of that.
Yeah. Just today, we had a cartload of takebacks that were just the pop.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy because I looked at the sign again. I'm like, there's a huge buy 2 at this price, all additional at full price.
Yes. And I wish we would convey more on these in the ad and on the sale things that this is final. Like you can't do like a double down on this. If you want another set, you have to leave and come back. Yeah. And it's simple stuff like that, but every store goes through this. This is not just us.
No, for sure. But that is it. But look, it
is a common.
I asked you for an honest answer.
That honestly has always been my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah.
Is of any of the deals that we do, Pop has been my biggest issue because we also work with these 3 separate companies of Pepsi, Coke, and 7-Up. They all want their deals differently. Right. 7-Up this week is 3 for $12 on their 6-packs. So they're outside of the $1.49 deal.
Right, because that's just Coke and Pepsi, right?
Yes.
Okay. For example.
Yeah. And so, they all want different things. I always know that Pepsi is always willing to work with us. We work with them. And 7-Up the same way. It's very shocking to see Coke part of this deal. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
But that's just a me thing. But besides that, I don't have a lot of pet peeves with people. If I ever have issues with people, I always go to our managers or I go to somebody and I talk to them and they usually take care of it pretty easily.
Love that for you.
It's just, little things outside as a cashier going in. I've seen people get frustrated with it. I know how they feel about it.
For sure.
And,
and it's like a volume thing too, right? Like, cause you could say that to me and I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's annoying. Just shut up and deal with it. Right. But then I'm not dealing with thousands of people a day with the same thing. So realistically, what I'm hearing is that you would like to solve the literacy problem in America.
Take a look. It's in the book. It's Reading Rainbow.
That is Rainbow.
And I want
Butterflies
to help
in the sky.
I want to spread that sky all the way across our store and give everybody the world ability to read.
That's right. That's so funny. I'm doing the Wayne's World thing. I've wanted to do this so often in an interview before. Yeah, but the problem is, the thing is, I always want to be respectful to my guests, but since I actually know you, I thought I'd tell them about your proclivity for goats. Ray, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. It's been fun to watch. So I will throw you a compliment. I obviously don't know your team super well because, again, our relationships are often transactional because I'm usually just like running through like, hi, everybody. Having a good day, great. And I like them, don't get me wrong, but it's like just not enough hours in the day. You work with who you work with.
Right.
Everyone always has been delightful in my experience, although I do joke that all of my coworkers only give me the best version of themselves because they're like, well, otherwise I won't get airtime. I'm like, no, dude, be a bit of a jerk. I kind of want to meet that person. I would get that airtime. But no, you've always brought a lot of enthusiasm to your team. You're pretty lighthearted. You've got dad jokes for days.
Oh,
maybe
dude,
weeks even.
I am dad jokes and punny. If you want to deal with me, it is bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel bad for your future employer. That's really where I'm at. And I thought I should bring this up too because you're not leaving for any bad reason. You're moving, so it's like not a huge deal. Yeah, but you're moving closer to me.
Yes,
so
it's victories and small wins, and I'll take them
for sure.
I've always wanted to make.
I am jealous though. You now can get fresh hot sandwiches made in store by your.
I've heard crazy things about these subs that I'm going to be dealing with, so I'm excited to see how that actually goes.
Here's the take. I'm going to be, and I mean this unbiased. I would have told you this on any show I've ever done my entire life. They're pretty good. It's just deli stuff for the most part, right? Which we have the same things. It's, you see me making lunch sandwiches in here all the time. Not dramatically dissimilar. What I will say that your new employer does well is they have surprisingly good bread for these subs. And then the one that always cracks me up, though, the one that people really go nuts for is the chicken tender son. I don't know. I guess I've never been a guy who was like, it'd be great with these fried pieces of chicken. Wrap them in bread. That said, they're still fun. Anytime I'm in Florida, I always make at least one stop to one of these. And now that it's here, I'll have to make a stop down by you.
Yeah, no.
I do like doing a little corporate espionage, so I'm stealing all of your good ideas.
No, it's crazy. Their plan is to open at least 7 of these down in Kentucky. Yeah. And if they do well, they're going to start moving them up in this area.
That makes sense.
So guys, get ready for a real food war. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Oh, do you hear that? Ray is threatening. Ray is Russia to my Ukraine right now. I took it completely as a threat, dude.
Good Lord.
Okay, well, you let me know when the invasion starts. Ray, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I'm very happy for you. As I've told you multiple times in person, I always love to see my friends grow. I think this will be, I'm glad for your move. I think that's exciting.
It is.
I'm very happy. I'm curious to see what happens. Who knows? Maybe they'll change the name from Publix to Ray Licks? I don't really know where I was going with that. Pub Ray? That's better.
You try so hard with my name. It's been a real thing.
It was one of the only ones that your name didn't fit into. Yeah. I was telling everyone to brace themselves for your exit. Anyway, Ray, congratulations to you. Thank you for completing the exit interview. I will be sending all of your future employees the mean things you said about them.
Thanks.
No, congratulations, buddy. Thanks for being a part of the team. We've appreciated all of your hard work here.
Thank you.
Seriously, thank you so much for holding it down for us. I know it's a hard job, but we do appreciate that.
It's been one of my favorite things to do in my 20s has been working here.
That's awesome.
Because it's given me a lot more as an adult, a lot more as an employee going to my next job, and I've learned so much from everybody. And I truly mean that. Everybody I have talked to who has been here in the past, present, or coming in have always taught me what to do and how to do things. And I'm going to miss every single one of you. This store really has been the best, and I will miss you guys.
And now he just casually admits to being able to time travel. He's like, oh, all the people that have yet to come in, I've met them, and I love them. Ray, what a ray of sunshine. Tell Jungle you love him right in the camera.
Jungle, love you, buddy. You're one of the best people I know. We've only met once, but it was one of my favorite interactions of all time.
Oh, what was the interaction?
Oh, you really want to know this?
I definitely want to know this. I'm sending this to Jimmy first.
So I don't know if Jungle will remember this, but back in October of 2019, when I worked in seafood.
Oh, he won't remember. I don't remember October of 2019.
Of 2019, I remember this clear as day. I was taking trash out for seafood, and I was wearing my Superman shirt, and he was like, holy bleep, it's Superman. What are you doing here? And I was like, I'm working for you, pal. He's like, well, get back to work. Thanks for flying away, and walked away.
That's awesome.
It's one of my favorite moments in the store because it just reminded me that he is not your typical manager. He comes down and likes to have fun with us.
He comes to play. I love it. Yeah.
And it's one
How could you not? I mean, you can tell in the design and the build of the store in the first place, of course.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
But that's another one of my favorite memories is that. That's one of the craziest things ever. That's my first interaction with the man, and it was like, holy it's Superman. I was like,
exactly. And you're like, oh my God, and I imagine you being the type to be like, where?
He knows my name because I left after my leg, but I feel like for the longest time he just knew me as Superman. I was like, you know what, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Good work, Clark.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, off to Smallville with you. Yeah. That's an exit interview, baby. That's how it's done.
Woo!
Ray, best of luck to you. Love you, man. Thank you so much for doing this. I think this is a great idea, and hopefully I'll do more of these with people if they leave the company, right? It's a nice thing here that Ray mentioned it in his interview. There's a very strong family vibe here, and not in the way that you're thinking. Like, I've not yelled at any of these people over a Thanksgiving turkey yet, but I love it. So many people you're either here for a month or you're here for a lifetime. That's kind of been my experience so far, and that was really fun. Well, with that said, let's dive into the next segment here. This happened a couple weeks back. I say a couple weeks. I don't know what time means. I literally didn't know what day it was the other day until I missed a credit card payment, and they were like, hello, Mark, you didn't pay us. So this was months ago. But we just had Braun Strowman in from the WWE. They were here as part of a package deal with Real American Beer. And like I said at the beginning of the show, we've still got some cases that available if you want to purchase that. Signed by Braun Strowman. He was a really sweet man. And this is Real American Beer's Matthew Rolnick here to talk a little bit about what they do. Well, welcome to the show, Matthew Rolnick, or should I just call you Rolnick if I'm starting there, right?
Either or. I mean, people call me Matthew, Matt, with Real American Beer, they call me Rolnick a lot. But anyway, excited to be here, Mark.
Oh my gosh, thanks for coming on and doing this. I appreciate it. Already got a cold can ready to go. I mean, should we just start there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, part of this is just drinking a beer, getting together, talking. So
yeah, I'm gonna get mine. Sorry, a little slow on the draw today.
All right, cheers, brother.
Cheers. Oh, let me see. Oh, okay. Is this somebody from the team?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's someone from
I was
Real
just like,
American.
I wanted to make sure they were getting good candidates. I was like, oh gosh, they're getting the candidates of Mark started drinking at 11 a.m. in the office. Hi. I'll probably trim some of it. Actually, you know what? It's kind of fun. That's what I like about the chaos of Jungle Gyms, to be honest with you. I'm sure you've gotten a short bit of the tour so far, not the complete thing.
Well, yeah, we just saw Cooper, who works with Real American Beer, just kind of came in. We're really excited. We're doing a event with Braun Strowman, WWE. I mean, he's a monster of a man, and just as I said, we're real excited. So we're gonna have our Real American Beer team here and meet a bunch of fans, and again, and do some case signings. So we're pumped.
We already had people sign like in line. I was surprised. So when I first came in, somebody was like, "Hey, do you know what the lineup situation?" I was like, "It's 10 in the morning. I don't know if there is a lineup situation yet. I assumed it would be later in the day."
Yeah,
I love it so much. They're so excited.
Yeah, I saw people line up. They said they got here as early as 9 a.m. and he's coming at 2. So
oh, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it. Like, I get the excitement around it and all that stuff. I've been laughing because I'm just like, all right, what's it going to take for me to get thrown through a table while Strowman's here? You know what I mean? This is my entry. I'm like, I just wanted to be the grocery store heel, you know? So, Matt, how did you get into this? What was what's your story?
Well, my story is I started working with some celebrities and speakers with my previous company, and a friend of mine, Hulk's business partner named Chad, let me know that he was starting a new beer. And Real American Beer, got Hulk on a Zoom. I was trying to see if Hulk could be a speaker for a client. I'm explaining this over a Zoom with Hulk and Chad and our CEO, Terry, and next thing I know, I hear, yeah, brother, this is sounding good. And then they reached out to me and said, hey, Rolnick, we'd love for you to help with partnerships and events. And I've started basically from the beginning since we launched in June of 2024. Okay. And it's been a wild ride, brother. I mean,
I feel like there should be a company mandate to everybody to grow the handlebar mustache.
Yes.
I think that would be it. I love the little selfie station we had.
Yes.
You know?
That's a mandate. My wife makes fun of me because I say brother now a lot.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it kind of comes with the territory a little bit here. What makes the beer special to you?
You know, makes the beer special for a lot of reasons. I mean, basically, you know, the mission of the beer is, can we just bring everyone together. You know, Hulk had this vision when he saw, you know, another brand having some, let's say, marketing challenges, but thought there could be an opportunity of, well, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Republican, Democrat, sexual preference, doesn't matter. Can't we just all have a beer and get together, talk, kind of like this? I mean, we need to talk more. And so that was one thing about it. But as I said, I think we really represent this patriotic spirit and this fun brand to celebrate. We talked that our beer is the most crushable, but it's great tasting, which I think a lot of people, you know, buy it because they're curious, and then they're pleasantly surprised, like, wow, this is really good. And we call ourselves the most crushable beer, but it's a light beer. It's low calories, 110 calories, 4 grams of carbs. I mean, it's a great beer, but it is the whole energy that we're bringing behind the space and really making a dent in it. So.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. I mean, honestly, I'm a couple sips in already.
Oh yeah.
Well, we got it nice and cold beforehand. I'm actually a little surprised how cold we got it before we started taping. And that's the part where I'm like, oh gosh, is it going to be warm on air? No, it's delicious. I mean, I always joke that this gives me the vibes like I either just cut not that I ever want to mow my lawn, but it's like, oh, I just finished that. I'm going inside. I don't want to water right now. I want something a little crisp, a little refreshing. It does taste really good. I mean, it's a great light beer.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you expect, you know?
I have so many people, again, selling me on, oh my God, this tastes so good. It tastes like a full-bodied beer. And so,
a classic. You know, there's been that fun thing where we had the craft explosion, and I excitedly rode the wave, and I kind of like that all the water sort of settling now, where it's like, now I felt like for a while there was not quite a stigma against it, but it was like people weren't drinking as much. They were trying all the weird shit for a little while. And then we're back to a place where I'm like, great, I can go to the bar and order a regular beer and nobody's going to bat an eye like they would in like 2016 where they're like, oh, that's not a quadruple IPA. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, stop with that stuff. What do you think has been, like, what have been some of the biggest obstacles for you in this process?
You know, when I say obstacle, I mean, Hulk literally, physically and metaphorically, can just break down doors and barriers and things like that. So we've had advantages over others trying to enter the beer industry just because we have so many people wanting to work with us. Sure. I mean, obviously, we want to get this cans in hands to as many people as possible. Right. It's really, I'd say, our biggest challenge is growing as fast as we want to. I mean, we're right now in over 20 states, and we started 8 months ago, and it's like, wow. And actually, when we go to a market, it's really exciting. We just want to keep that buzz going. Sure. And so I'd say, you know, just like with any startup, it's just moving fast and just making sure everybody knows the focus, their role. And so, but right now, as I said, we're having a lot of fun growing it. Yeah. But I'd say the challenge is we want to be everywhere. So
sure. Well, I mean, you know, for example, obviously today you're here because we got Braun Strowman in the store. So it's got to be, I'm sure obviously these challenges still exist, but it's probably a little more fun and a little easier at times because you've got this great backing of all of these WWE wrestlers too, right? Yeah,
that's been obviously an amazing partnership for us. I mean, that's really exciting. But as I said, from a marketing standpoint, we crush it. I mean, we're getting billions of impressions with the thing. So that's something that I think is a real advantage to us. And people are curious and they're excited. And I said, we're just getting a lot of love, a lot of feedback. So,
were you a wrestling person before this?
I wrestled a little in high school. I used to follow. I mean, I used to watch, you know, I'm a Gen Xer, and I used to watch wrestling. And I was always a Hulk fan, whether it was wrestling. I always loved him in Rocky III, Thunder Lips. I mean, but anyway, but yeah.
I was going to say, I think Rocky III was my introduction. I somehow missed the boat on the wrestling thing. And it was one of those funny things that, like, I get it. Like, obviously impressed by the athleticism of everybody involved and all that stuff. But it's always been so interesting to me to see the fervor around this. Like when you all first announced this and I just posted the poster to my Facebook page, it went crazy. Yeah. I mean, it went crazy like I leaked my own nudes crazy. Do you know what I mean? And I was kind of like, this is insane. You guys could have seen those years ago. Yeah. No, but all kidding aside, seeing this kind of reaction was wild to me. And it was all kinds of people were just like, this is wild. You guys are doing this at junglejims? I'm like, well, of course, it's a crazy place. We're going to do weird stuff like this all the time. I found it, I was just so impressed by that. And it's one of those things where, because I'm not in the thick of it, I'm so impressed because just look at the response it got. And it wasn't something I was anticipating, right?
Yeah.
Like, you'd think the Beatles were showing up. Yeah, that's how it felt.
It feels like that. When we go to events, it feels like that. I mean, we get crowds of hundreds, sometimes thousands. People are going crazy. As I said, they come in lines hours early, and they're chanting and they're excited. So we've got this kind of rock star vibe as we're growing our brand.
That's so cool. Do you think that that's going to be something, because you've done similar positions in other companies that you've worked for, right? How hard of a wave is that to ride?
You know, right now, as I said, we've been around for less than a year. And as I said, we're growing. We have all these people that want to work with us, partnerships, sports teams. I mean, you name it. I think I'd like to believe we can just keep riding this and keep growing it. I mean, I think I feel like it's endless, the possibilities that what we can be. But for right now, as I said, our goal is to just the fundamentals, just, keep doing events, keep making sure people seeing our beer, trying our beer. I mean, that's really what we're focused on.
Of course, absolutely. It's like quality ingredients. So this might be a silly question. Is it all American sourced? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I feel like it probably went with the territory, but I'm like, I had to ask.
Yeah. So this is being brewed in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So everything.
Nice. That feels like a very American place.
Real American made, real American ingredients, brewed, made real in America.
Give me all the freshest wheat possible.
Yeah.
With doing all of these, the celebrity endorsement, obviously Hulk and some of the other wrestlers and things like that. Have you learned anything so far in this process, like as far as navigating celebrity endorsements go? Wow. I know this is his company.
Well,
too,
yeah.
But.
I mean, I've gotten to know Hulk, and I've gotten to see him in action, meet people, and just really want to connect with people. I mean, so that's something I've really learned and things like that. I mean, and for us, anybody that protects our country, military, police, fire, first responders. I mean, it's incredible. But you know what? I've kind of learned our own system on seeing how many people come, seeing whether it's different grocery stores, liquor stores, bars. I mean, what's important to them, and just how to basically put together an event where everybody's happy, and that's not always easy. I'd say you say a challenge. The hardest thing is when we do an event like this where Hulk comes or Braun comes. I mean, if you get 1,000 people, you can't realistically get through all of them in a couple hours. So that's always a little challenging or things like that.
Of course.
But for the most part, I feel like we've done a really good job on how we're marketing, how we're executing, getting it out there. If that answers your question.
No, I think that does answer my question. Because I'm always curious about these I've done just enough. I mean, not at this scale by any means, but I've done enough touring in my own life to be like, okay, there's everything's a hurdle, it feels like at times. But then also there's so much excitement around it that I'm always viewing it a little bit, at least personally, where it's like, all right, the overall enjoyment, fun, excitement level outweighs any of the possible negatives or, you know what I mean? Those little obstacles along the way. So I always find that. So I get excited about it because I'm just like, all right, we got good energy in the room today. You know what I mean? I'm like one of those people.
Yeah. I mean, again, to share, again, we probably have an opposite problem of others in the sense that one challenge is we can't be 4 places at once. We can't bring Hulk at 4 places. So we're always looking at how else do we activate the beer. So again, to do an event like here at Junglejims, I mean, that's amazing. And how can we do other events with local country bands any type of auto events or and again, sporting events, anything local backyard type of experience. Like how can we activate and get people trying our beers where Hulk doesn't have to be everywhere or a WWE star doesn't have to be everywhere?
When it comes to the beer, I know we've talked about obviously expanding the brand. Like what's the longevity plan here? Like where do you see this in 5 years?
Oh, you know what?
A year in,
I mean, again, I think our goal is to be America's favorite beer. I mean, that is really, we know there's the big boys in doing that, but we think that people will really resonate it. That they like the taste, they like the whole spirit of the beer, this patriotic spirit. I think there's something about just wanting to have fun. I mean, I talk about people wanting to just get together. Can't we just talk over a beer? But when we do these events, I mean, guards are down, hair is down. I mean, they are having a blast, and I feel like we embody that. So,
not to be this nerd about it, but I feel like that's along the lines of finding your yay.
I'm here to talk about the beer, but
it feels like that mentality plays into this.
I mean, I'm all about authenticity.
Yeah,
and for individuals, I mean, I see it in yourself. Sure. I mean, I see, and it's just how can you truly be yourself? So I see that with Hulk. I see that with our company. And, our senior leaders encourage, as employees at Real American Beer, hey, be yourself, connect with people, and show your real personality. And I feel like we've got a bold personality. We've got this bold beer. And so that all ties into it for me personally as well.
Yeah, that makes so much sense too. One thing I kept thinking about is that obviously we're focusing predominantly all right, we're hitting that classic light beer vibe here, like you said. Are there any thoughts? I mean, we've seen it blow up pretty quickly in a short amount of time, but has there been any like conversation about potentially expanding the brand to like other types of drinks or anything like that?
You know, my focus is partnerships and events. I mean, obviously with a name, Real American Beer.
Yeah, probably.
You could see a whole wide range of different things Real American go. I mean, as I said, right now, the main goal is just let's get this across the country and activate. Like Ohio is one of our top states. Ohio and Florida are our two biggest states right now when it comes to Real American Beer.
What do you think the why is behind that?
Boy, I'd say a combination of things. I mean, Hulk lives in Florida, so Florida's a popping market.
Sure.
Ohio's just, I mean, people love to drink in Ohio.
Yeah.
His partner Chad is from Ohio. We've just had we've built just some really strong relationships.
That makes sense.
It's just been really receptive on it.
I think there's got to be something, you know, I always heard for a long time that we were a great test market for things like reality TV as well and like other kinds of products. I'd love to, I'm always trying to dive a little deeper into that, but even in all my years here, no one's really provided, like, I don't think anybody knows. There's just something about, maybe there's like the right mix of people in the state that are just like, yeah, we're on board to try something new.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll say, I don't know if I've met, I mean, probably one of the most excitable states I've been in.
Sure.
So obviously, everywhere I go, people are chanting USA, they're chanting Hogan. But I love going, you know, when we go on stage and I go OH and they go IO, and it just people go crazy. That's probably my daughter makes fun of me because I'm always saying OH. And she goes IO.
It is kind of wild how you know, and it's funny because like in internet meme culture, I feel like Ohio keeps popping up in all kinds of odd ways. I'm just like, what's going on? No, it's really, this has been refreshing. I'm crushing a beer this early in the morning. It is crushable. I'll give you that for sure.
I grew up in Minnesota, and a buddy, over the summer, my buddies, we went on Lake Minnetonka, grabbed some beers, and I bought a 12-pack. There's 4 of us, and my first buddy's drinking this, like, damn, this is good. And he's like, and then they got mad at me for not bringing enough because, but again, they definitely, I mean, I've got my bias, but they go down easy.
I mean, we're not even all the way through. The first one's crushed. And I'm trying to be professional about it, Rolnick. You know, I didn't want to get that out of line that early in the morning, but I'm working on it. Okay, so I know we talked about the future of the brand. We talked about some of the upcoming rollouts.
Yep.
My desire for there to be a backyard party somewhere. I think you can tell I grew up in the 90s when MTV was doing that kind of stuff all the time. Where they're just like, spend a weekend with Van Halen or whatever. I'm like, yeah, come over to my house. This will be a nightmare. But a great story to tell.
Absolutely.
So now I'm hearing that's all I can think about. So I will send you my... All right. Matthew Rolnick, it's been an absolute pleasure. I love it. We got the handshake on camera, little Real American Beer. Is there anywhere you'd like people to follow you on social media or anything like that for the brand? Is it just at Real American Beer?
Yeah. Follow our site, follow our Instagram, Facebook. I mean, follow us everywhere. And again, we always encourage people, don't be shy to post and share.
Sure. Yeah, and hopefully you'll be back to visit us again soon. I hope today goes well enough that you want to come back to Jungle Gyms.
Absolutely, man.
Oh,
thanks, Mark.
Thanks so much. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Well, thanks, brother. Appreciate it, brother. Had a fun time. Always here for a little crushable drink here at 10 in the morning. What a tough life I lead. All right, on that, I think that wraps it up for the show this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thanks for enjoying. Appreciate you all. I'm going to turn the cameras off because I want to eat more of these Calbee yellow Thai curry chips. I'm going to have to do a TikTok on this too. But as always, everyone, thanks for your feedback. I really do love hearing from you. Podcast at junglejims.com. Obviously, you can like message us on social, and those all go to me too. I want to make things that you all want to watch, and I'd love your feedback. I've tried really hard to be accessible to anybody that listens to this show. I mean, a lot of you just walk in my office somewhat unceremoniously. But seriously, reach out to me digitally at any time. I love to hear your feedback, and I would love to do more things that you want to see too. But if not, if I don't hear those things, I'm going to keep doing what I think is the right thing, which is supporting my community and supporting businesses I love, mostly the one I work for. All right, everyone, on that. See you next week, and you can find me out in the aisles.
The Jungle Gyms podcast is recorded in the WJJI studio inside Jungle Gyms International Market in Fairfield, Ohio. The Jungle Gyms podcast is produced and hosted by Mark Borison.